Hi guys, Bella and I thought we'd pop on and say hello because it's been a couple of days. I just took a couple of days off, really just to show you my progress because I've done just a metric, hello baby, shit ton of stitching in the last 2.5 days. And yeah, and to just say thank you very much for watching my Flossmas. And it's kind of weird when it ends, you know, when we get to Christmas and I don't need to do them anymore. It's always kind of funny. It feels kind of funny not to make one. So I'm back at my probably normal time. It's actually 11:10, so I'm a bit later than I was. Bella's going to be a complete pest because she's just poking around and purring. What are you doing, Belle? Anyway, so Boxing Day was off work, and yesterday I was off work, and today I worked 8, had to go in at 8, blah, 8 until about 3:15, so slightly shorter day, and I'm 9 till, not 3:45, 3:45, and tomorrow I'm in 9 till 2:30, but it'll probably be, again, nearer 3 o'clock before I get away, because you still got people who don't realise you're shutting, and you know, you've got to get rid of as people. Yeah, it's time to go. So what have I done? I found myself, how far off was I? Oh, Belle, she's actually sitting on my piece of paper that I'd marked out. I was 3,100 stitches short of my 8% goal on Treasure Hunt Bookshelf. So what I did, 0.01% is 72 stitches, and I needed to do 43 lots. So what I did was I drew myself boxes, and every 72 stitches I stitched, I coloured in a box. As you can see, I have done my stitches. So I am at 8%. And I don't know if you can remember what it looked like the last time I showed it, but now it looks like this. There's quite a dramatic difference there. So this is 8, let me see if I can see through. That is 8% on a supersize max colour Treasure Hunt Bookshelf. And I have been stitching on this for 8 months. And it looks fantastic. So I've got another star pop out there, and Bella's got her claws in my leg. So I basically put in a whole pile of stitches in this. I think it's like a curtain, drapey curtain. I had some little gaps here before, a few little gaps of stitches here. I filled them all in, so I still have a couple, 1, 2, 3, you can see there. Oh, she's going to now. She's just being as bad as she can. She just very deliberately walked across what my tablet is resting on. Sorry about this, guys. I'm not stopping and starting again. Oh, what a pest that little cat is. She's just sitting just off camera. She's probably going to do it again. So yeah, I filled in my gaps and I'm crackling on. I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going to carry on here or I'm going to go down there. I can't decide. I don't know whether I'm kind of over these colours and I want to come down here and do some colours down there, because I'm not stitching this like page by page or anything. I just started in this corner, and rather than completely cross-countrying like I do, I'm just trying to fill it in as I go, but to no set pattern. Here she comes again. Belle, will you stop being bad? She's going to go up the side there to her little. She's just being as noisy as she can. She's going to settle on a really noisy plastic bag. You know what? I think I'm going to put my Q-snap down here. Just because, why not? Why not just settle somewhere different? Right. So I think I might just do some stitches down here in January. So in the first day, I sadly did take screenshots of this. So in the first day I did, let me find, 1550 stitches. Oh, Belle! Just knocked 2 trunks over. Stop that, naughty girl. And then on the second day I did 1575 stitches, which took me to, I'm going to show you, I'm going to put it up here, 8% exactly. So I was very pleased with that, very pleased to get my stitches in. It was a bit of a hard slog because it wasn't just big fill-in chunks I was doing, getting a skein out, winding a thread, doing 6 stitches, you know, as we all have been through. I'm just going to grab my needle. I worked in, I had a whole pile of park threads, if you remember, just hanging from here, a whole pile, like a little thick bit. So I worked them in. I've got my needle in my teeth, don't mind me, I'm talking funny. So I worked all those in, just for, you know, something to do. There. Put the needle inside there. So I'm going to work myself, I'm going to work in this section here and see if I can get my 7,000 stitches in this area for January. If I can fill in some gaps there. So I've put my Q-snap in. The rest of this just gets scrumpled up underneath. This is how we manage our supersize max colour. And the other thing I have done is copious quantities of stitching on the little one I just started at Christmas, like 2 days before Christmas or whatever it was, on this piece of DMC Ada, which I'm getting to grips with. It is a bit more of a struggle, but the more I stitch on it, the easier it's getting, actually, quite quickly. It's becoming easier quite quickly. So on Boxing Day, I put in 433 stitches on this, which took me to a shade under 2,000 stitches for the day. And oh no, hang on, I put in 450 stitches, which took me to exactly 2,000 stitches for the day, because I took my screenshot and worked it out and realised that I was only, what, 17 stitches off of 2,000 stitches. So I did put in the extra stitches. That took me to 9.51%. And then the following day, yesterday, I put in 550 stitches, which gave me, again, 2,025 stitches for the day, which took me to 11.3%. And so far today, I have put in 1,246 stitches, which is what I've done since I got in from work, and dropping, oh, ordeal. When I got back in, I've put in 1,246 stitches into this tonight. I'm not going to stitch on my treasure hunt bookshelf now until the turn of the year. I want to stitch on it, but I'm going to ratch and get some other things sorted. I'm sorting out for the for what I want to stitch on next year now. I'm starting to think about that. So, better show you it really, hadn't I? Here we are at currently 15.3%. Oh, I can see the trees now. It's balmy, isn't it? You spend all this time putting in all this blue. What's she doing? She's cleaning herself. Putting in all this blue and it doesn't look like anything. And then I hold it up to the camera and suddenly I can see the relief of the white. And I've clearly got 1, 2, 3 trees there. And maybe a building there, perhaps? I'm not too sure what this is here yet. But I think I've reached the side here. It's not full coverage, but it's not far off. And I just love it. Look, my mixy muddle with the colour seems to have worked out all right. I checked my list and I never have owned 3828. It's one of the ones on my list of what I've got. See, look how many skeins of 3828 I've got. Well, that's obviously because I was doing opening gambit. I won't have anywhere near as many of them. But 3828, I have never owned a skein. No wonder I couldn't find it. I found my list actually. So I used something else, 620, something like that. I don't know what it was, but it was a close match and I was happy with it. And you can see my deer are complete now, all apart from eyeballs. Bunnies and deer and have got and I think the fox has got an eyeball to go. I haven't yet pulled that colour to do the eyeballs. So it's going to, that's the edge there, so it's going to come to about there, and then it's going to be, I think, about that size. So it's actually going to be a lovely, lovely, lovely size. I really like it. I really like it. And it's just so easy to work it on Pattern Keeper. It just, as I say, it just went straight in. Really love this. So I'm really happy with that. So I'm going to batter on with that blue, and then I'm going to completely change colour. What's the stars? 820. My favourite. So I'm currently working in 813. Is this lovely, like, mid-light blue. I've got one more strand of that. So I'm going to do another, I'm going to finish this strand, put that strand in, and I'm going to pull some 820 and bang some blue in, because I love 820. And then for tomorrow, I might pull something completely different, so that I've got something different to show you next time I pop on, which, what day are we? It's 28th. Now, I'm off work Friday, and I'm off work Sunday, Monday, and then we're completely back to normal Tuesday. I'll be back to having Mondays and Thursdays off, I think, from there. So that's all good. And yeah, so I'm probably going to do my whip parade either on the 1st or the 2nd of January. I'm definitely doing an end of year whip parade, and I'm definitely doing a, oh, I got something dirty on that. In the space of no time at all, I've got something dirty on there. This will of course get washed. It's all DMC, and I've got to wash it to get the grid lines out, because it's a pre-gridded Ada. I'm going to sort out what I'm going to do, and to that end I really think I'm going to try and do 2 projects a month, work on 2 projects a month of existing whips, maybe a new start here or there depending on how I'm feeling, and obviously my 1% in my treasure hunt bookshelf, which is non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. This time next year I want to be at 20%. I want to have just finished 20% this time next year, so I want to be able to hold it up and go, this is what 20% looks like. I'd love to hold it up and go, this is what 50% looks like, but you know, pigs will fly for me getting that much time off work. The only reason that has had 3,100 stitches in 2 days is because I was not working. Can you imagine how many hays I would stitch if I didn't have to work? Oh my god. It would just be heaven. I have to win the lottery. I have to play the lottery to win the lottery, and I don't play the lottery because it's a waste of money anymore. So that's not going to happen. But can you imagine how much cross stitch I could do if I didn't have to work? Oh, it would be heaven. I could just sit and stitch all day long, like 2,000, probably. I'd probably, if I was stitching all day long, I'd conservatively do 2,500 to 3,000 stitches a day, every day, because I love it. Oh dear. I did order myself a present today, because why not? Just once, why not? I watched Jan Hicks. I watched her, and she showed a start of the Buffy Threads 12 Days of Christmas, and I've always loved a partridge in a pear tree, and I've always loved a 12 Days of Christmas thing. So I saw this and I thought, hey, those patterns really pretty, and Buffy Threads kits. So I looked it up, and for a proper bona fide Buffy kit, they were all ballpark, but obviously Amazon topped out £8 cheaper. So I just got it from Amazon. So I await that arriving. It is coming from an independent shop. It's coming from a second party seller. So I will show you it when it arrives, and I think I'm going to stitch them separately. possibly not on the kit fabric, possibly because I won't be able to stitch them separately because it won't be big enough, I don't think, to stitch them separately. So I'll pull something. It says beads and sequins though, so it's 14 count, so I'll have to either find some 28 count or some 14 count. I've got a piece of 14 count Ada. I think they're full coverage, so Ada will be 14 count. Ada will be fine. I think my Snow Wizard, I need to stitch on my Snow Wizard. Where is it? Oh, my decision's made. I'm stitching on Snow Wizard tomorrow. I think I've got the rest of the piece of Snow Wizard fabric, which for little, I think they're going to come out about that size. I don't know. My mind's eye didn't give me dimensions of the actual thing. So there's obviously 12. I think they'll probably be about 3 inches by 4 inches on the 28, on the 14 count. 28 counts the same as 14 count when you do it 2 over 2, isn't it? So I'll use the full kit, but I might have to substitute out the fabric just to make so that I can do just so that I can stitch them separately. And that might be a Christmas present for my mum next year, because then she can put each day out. My mum's got the capability of changing a day out each day, so I might well do that, and then just finish them as little flat folds for her for the 12 days of Christmas, and in which case I would need to stitch one a month, wouldn't I, to get it done in a year. So I might do that. I'll probably just start it and what have you. So non-negotiable treasure hunt bookshelf, 7,223 stitches a month. Might do the bossy threads every month, and then from that I'm going to choose 2 pieces. It's going to be a full coverage and a non-full coverage every month, and I'll either just see how far I can get on them, and I'll see, because if I get very close to a finish, some of my pieces are quite close to a finish, and if I can get them close to a finish, I might push to finish, or I might not. I have a funny feeling I will be stitching this one here into January because I love it, and I'm really taken with it. But I've got loads of lovely pieces, and I will do. Well, I'm gonna do a full whip parade of my current whips with the little counter up on the side, like I did when I did my mid-year whip intervention thing. So I'll do a full whip parade, and then probably I don't know whether to pick and choose or just pick and choose. I think I'm just going to pick and choose as the year goes on. But know that each beginning of each month I'll put up a video to show you what I'm going to be working on at the beginning of the month. Right guys, I think that's me for now. So I just thought I'd pop back and just say thank you ever so much for watching my Flossmas. And I will see you definitely for the end of year whip parade in a couple of days. 4 or 5 days. We'll see how I get along, but whip parade will definitely be up because I've got 2 days off work and no excuse not to do it. Right guys, I'll see you soon. Bye.